It's the biggest refugee disaster since the Second World War. Hundreds of thousands of people are trying to flee across the Mediterranean. Those who manage the dangerous crossing are exhausted, sick, and have narrowly escaped death. Vincenzo Morello is a doctor from Sicily who looks after refugees. The situation is getting worse, so his assignment could now become a permanent one. Will he be able to withstand the enormous strain this summer? Vincenzo Morello's mobile phone is always on, even when he's taking a walk with his son Giovanni and an old friend. Vincenzo used to be a football referee, but he never has time now. Ever since the first refugees arrived at Pozzallo, he's been looking after them.
They call me Papa. They see me as someone they can rely on, someone they can trust. I'm the first person they meet on the ship, in the port, or in the surgery. I'm their first aid. So I got the nickname Papa Africa because I mainly look after Africans.
I have to laugh at the nickname, but it also makes me think because my father is so important to these people. They wanted to escape the misery in their countries and are looking for help here.
Vincenzo's hometown of Pozzallo in the far south of Sicily is now seen as another gateway to Europe, a second Lampedusa. A constant flow of refugee boats pull into the harbor during summer.
I'll remember this ship for the rest of my life. It arrived on July 1st last year with a cargo of death. We found 40 bodies below deck, all of them suffocated because they'd been locked in by the traffickers. I thought it was so terrible, and I hope I never see anything like that again in my lifetime. When you see this, you realize how dramatic the refugee situation is, what terrible conditions they come here under. These unscrupulous traffickers load more and more people onto their boats. The bigger the load, the greater the profit.
During the hazardous crossing, most refugees are too scared and exhausted to put up much of a fight anyway.
Before the crossing, the traffickers lock the refugees in a garage or storeroom for 2 or 3 days. They don't give them much to eat or drink, so they're too weak to defend themselves against the traffickers. Often they only get a bit of cheese, a piece of bread, or a can of sardines to eat, maybe some water. I don't think I could ever leave my home and my family behind. But you have to be aware that many of the young people who've made it here will never see their mom, their dad, or their own children again. Many are desperately trying to get to their final destination and then finally call home. These are desperate people. They've left everything to build a better future for their families.
In the morning, the next refugees arrive in the harbor. The Dignity One is a ship operated by the aid organization Doctors Without Borders. It's bringing 292 refugees from Africa. They at least have managed to survive. Vincenzo is the first to go aboard. He coordinates his work with the other doctors at the port. Each refugee is examined for diseases, then is given a ribbon to show they've been checked. The whole process takes hours, but Vincenzo takes his time. It's important to him. Among the survivors, this baby and his mother from Ethiopia.
Have we got a pair of shoes for the mother? Make some room here. There's still a child and 2 pregnant women to come. Okay, give me 5 minutes.
The whole process takes 6 hours. The survivors are exhausted and weak and almost dying of thirst. One of them has a raging fever, another scabies. Some are taken straight to hospital. After days on the high seas, they've got solid ground under their feet at last. For many workers, the landing procedure has now become routine. The Italian Health Ministry, Doctors Without Borders, the police, the UN refugee agency UNHCR, and the Red Cross all want to do as much as they can here. Francesca Mangia is responsible for coordinating rescue operations aboard Dignity One. A Doctors Without Borders crew shot these pictures. These refugees were adrift in a rubber dinghy before they were saved. They had come via Libya, most of them with days of trekking through the desert behind them. Shortly before the crossing, they were taken captive, apparently by Libyan militiamen.
Erano stati attaccati da questi personaggi che chiedevano soldi.
These people attacked the refugees. They wanted money to let them go. Some of the migrants had money or a cell phone, but others had nothing. It looks like everyone got very nervous. And when the migrants drove off, the militiamen opened fire.
A man from Gambia was fatally wounded. The people who didn't make it across the Mediterranean alive are buried next to locals in the cemetery in Pozzallo. Every summer, there are more tombs.
We have no problem with the different religions here. For us, these are all people, whether they're Muslim, Buddhist, or Christian. It makes no difference at all.
Vincenzo also comes here. He cannot and does not want to get used to the daily landings of the refugees.
I come here because it gives me the feeling of compassion I need to keep going. I find strength here, and I can top up my energy. Maybe it sounds old-fashioned and even shocking, but that's how I feel.
Mistero della fede.
Vincenzo needs the sense of faith and community in Pozzallo to carry on tending to the refugees. This is a festival in honor of San Giovanni Battista, patron saint of sailors and immigrants. In other words, of those who have always set out to sea.
We live in too much of a hurry. Everything's too fast. We need to stop. Of course, we all hope that we never have to experience crises like the refugees have. I'm not sure if we always do things right. But one thing I am sure of, if I ever land in a difficult situation, I hope I will also receive this kind of help.